go live. Meanwhile, here's a message for me to read. Moderation helps everyone feel safe. To build a I don't care. Let's see what happens. I'm just going live, man. Why not? Getting over being sick, just sitting here watching other people go live. Huh. Huh. Night after night. Let's check out this live feed. And here I am. I'm like, you know what? Let's try it out. Let's go live. Why not? And this is where you start. 0. 0. But this is about willingness. Am I confident in my live streaming abilities? Of course not. I don't live stream that much. What, you're not confident? Oh no, something's wrong with you. No, it's about the willing. Are you willing? If you're willing, then you get the experience. Then when you get the experience, you become confident. So the only way is to start at 0, gain experience, gain confidence. Yeah, that's what I've been learning about life recently. Oh, you gotta have confidence. Well, you gotta have experience. You have to have the willpower. Welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by our community guidelines. Of course. Very interesting. I don't know how this works. I'm looking at the sidebar, and it's all blue asterisks next to it. So, oh, it's like, do you want to put something on? What up? I'm just hanging out, dude. I'm sick, or I'm getting over being sick, and I'm alone in my house doing nothing. But I'm willing. I'm willing. That's all that matters. That's what the point is tonight. Staying willing. I'm willing. I'm ready and willing. Yeah. But when you get more people on stream, like just one person came through and I'm like, oh, look, there's one person. But it's a soul. That's why it's hard for me to not acknowledge somebody who comes on live. As a person comes on while I'm live, I'm thinking to myself, oh, it's a person. You know, people who tend to go live a lot, they just continuously get more and more people, so they think, oh, whatever. But when one person comes on, I'm like, oh! It's like they got a soul. Like I consider the soul of people. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. It's just another person. It's just another person. It's not 10 people. One person's not 10 people. Like, yeah, sure, but that shouldn't matter. It's all about the willingness. I'm bringing back the willingness. You gotta be willing. Then you get the experience, and then you get confident. Yeah. Because I was trying to say things to myself like, man, I can't get into this role because I'm not confident. I'm not confident. Well, you can't get confident unless you have experience. How do you get experience? You gotta be willing. Will yourself out of bed, right? It's all about willing. You get out of bed, you wake up, you eat. You gotta be willing. That's the secret to life. You gotta will it into existence. I'm willing this bowl of soup into existence. I did. I actually was given that soup because I was sick. And I was just saying, hey man, I'm sick. And then I was given this soup. And I cooked it and I ate it. I willed that soup into my existence. It's interesting. How many more things can we will into our existence? By allowing people, it's like with how much you give out is how much you're going to give in, like how people are going to give back, you know? And how much are you willing to be given? And understand that in order to be given more things, you have to give more out. And that's why it's cautious. It's better to be cautious about how often you extend your olive branch because you automatically might assume that you're going to get loyalty, right? You automatically want loyalty, but you're not going to get it. And that's why you have to be very, very careful. But it doesn't being loyal to anybody. It's who you particularly choose to be loyal to. Because you have to know that if you are being loyal to somebody, that they will be loyal back to you. The worst thing you can do to yourself is to say, I'm going to put all my cards on the table for you, but I can't really trust you, or I just began to trust you, so here's all my loyalty for you. Like, I tend to give away loyalty instantly because I tend to be a really nice dude. You know, I'm an agreeable person. That's the thing. I'm a very agreeable person. And when you're agreeable too often, then you set yourself up. You set yourself up for more people you're more inviting. And the more acceptable I am of other people, the more people are willing to say hi to me. And that's nice. But I'm also considering how much I'm going to need to use my energy to give back, you know? Because it's important. With how well you're able to give back is important. Because if you're extending your loyalty to so many people to the point where you can't keep track of it, then whose fault is it if you put so much loyalty into something that you couldn't necessarily keep track of? It's very interesting. Because people could be in a music or business relationship for 10 years, and then all of a sudden they break up and all the fans are like, come on, come back, come back. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, something happened where somebody was like, I need the rights to this music. I left your label, but I need my music's rights, okay? Like, I know that I did all this stuff with you and you benefited from it the whole time I was with you, but now that I'm not there, let me have it. That's the problem. They gave their loyalty, but then wanted to take it back. People want to take what they gave back when you can't replace the past. They want it back when they can't get it back. Accept what has happened and be grateful and actually show, like, that you are grateful through actions, right? Of course, that's all obvious stuff, but it's so easy to mess up, you know, because in order to really continuously be on a successful line of life without hurting yourself is to stay on the narrow path. The narrow path, baby. And that's the mission of every day. Stay on the right path. Stay on the narrow path. Because all the other paths lead to destruction, literally. Like, there's a million paths. If you walk outside your door and go in your car and drive down the street and go to any store, there's a million paths you can take that will lead you to destruction. A million. And then there's like 3 choices. And like, you can't really make that many choices that are on the narrow path because it's so freaking narrow. Water. Thank you. I will drink the water. Great. That's good. That's a better choice than Mountain Dew. Okay? Sorry. Fuck you, Mountain Dew! It reminds me of the Eric Andre bit. That was when he was promoting not H2O, it was H2O2, the sequel to water. If you think the original's great, just wait till you try the molecular sequel. And he drinks it, and he's like, it's so funny. That is one of my most favorite bits from that guy. He's on the narrow path to the point where he's becoming self-destructive, but he's like misguided. He's on the path, but he's so misguided that he's like hitting all the walls going, oh. And that's what makes it funny. It's like, oh, okay, he's talking about how great water is. How about H2O2? And it's like, you fool. You freaking fool, dude. Oh, God. That's the trickster archetype, because they're like, oh, what about this? Oh, what about that? Oh, what about this? Look at this. Yeah, it's the Joe Rogan thing. It's the Terrence McKenna thing. They're talking about the trickster archetype. Because, you know what's funny? I wonder if Joe Rogan knows who Carl Jung is. That's a good question. I would like to ask Joe Rogan about how much he knows about Carl Jung. And now this is where it gets interesting, because Terrence McKenna was a Jungian. Like, he loved Carl Jung. So does Jordan Peterson, which is very interesting. Some of my favorite people, Terrence McKenna, he's kind of taking the back seat a little bit because I was more fascinated by psychedelia for a long period of time in my life. And the fascination of it slowly dissipated because drugs are drugs, man. And what Terrence was doing while he was alive was he was trying to change people's perspective on drugs. Because he thought that the missing link of evolution was drugs. Yikes. But it's a way for us to understand our past. It's a new way for us to understand our past, right? That's what he was trying to get at. He's trying to better things, but you might be misguided in some way if it has something to do with drugs. Sorry, man. Like, automatically kind of assuming that the past was what it may have been, and then promoting your message to the point where it's like the only thing you're concerned about, then that is pretty insane, you know? But that's why I know who he is. He willed it into existence. He willed himself into other people's existences because he was smart enough, or not smart enough, but he made himself capable enough to have the confidence to be able to talk about what he believed in. Because he willed himself to gain the experience of public speaking and to get used to using his vocabulary in order to communicate his I'd consider, advanced ideas. Why are they advanced ideas? Because what Terence McKenna was getting at was things that are not necessarily tangible. He talked about the intangible a lot. And now, that's the psyche, the soul. It's the same thing. Psyche, soul. Interesting. There's like a word, there's like a Greek word or something where psyche means soul or something. I think it's the Greek word. It's unbelievable when you learn that. You're just like, psyche and soul were like the same word for a lot of people in the ancient times? Really? Yeah. Psyche and soul were like the same word for... Psyche and soul were the same word for the ancient Greeks, I think. That's fascinating. You know? I could think about that all day. Like, so then how does the soul link to the psyche? Well, our soul is what is escaping us. The psyche is what we continuously experience. And our soul is what our persona is being generated through. Or not through, but outward. Like our persona is being projected outward from our soul. That's sort of what's happening. And your soul, this is where it gets religious. Your soul is like, it's the essence of you. It's the persona. Now, this is where it gets really deep, right? Because the soul is what people will call the I. In Christian and Abrahamic religions, the I is very important. Like, so important that it's talking about your eternity, your future eternity. Whether or not you want to be around for eternity is determinant of whether or not you believe that your name matters in this existence. And what Buddha tries to say is that everything is impermanent, even your name. Even your name. Everything is impermanent. That's why you must learn how to exist in this reality without being piped on, without hurting yourself the whole time. You know, that's really what I've been striving to do as I've gotten older, is preventing myself from hurting myself psychically. It's very interesting. Because for a while, when you're young, you don't know what's hurting you, like, psychologically. You might just do things because you don't necessarily know how to prevent negativity from affecting you. Or you might think, why is this happening to me over and over again? But you don't have an answer, you know? And I understand why certain things happen the way they do in my life. And the reason why I'm in the position I'm at right now is because I willed myself into this spot that I'm in. And that's a beautiful thing. And depending on where you are and how successful you are and how well you're able to spread love to others and make others feel happy and how well you're able to take care of yourself is really what it means to support yourself and to live a righteous life. To look after your own soul, to look after other souls. It's very interesting stuff. Well, this was a good first attempt for going live. The most people I got in here was 3. But maybe I'll start doing this more often. Just blabber. Blabber to the camera and see who else wants to join. Because I'm going to will whatever I want to will into existence. I'm going to be whatever I want to be as long as I continuously will it into existence. Will what you want into existence because you can do it. It's all determinate upon your will. But my world doesn't allow it. My world's preventing me from doing it. Because this guy, him, it's him. It's her. It's that guy. Like, it's those people in the past I don't know anymore. It's them. Stop blaming, because you are the master of your own mind.